Welcome to this week's live weekly warm-up, where I go over a warm-up exercise for you to implement into your routine and see what kind of results you can get. I would love to hear if anybody's been having really great results with any of these warm-ups so far, maybe. Last week, I really enjoyed going over those finger flexibility exercises and having that sort of create your own adventure where you could come up with your own sort of scale patterns or like different interval patterns to really like practice repeating that one sort of independent finger motion at a time. I would love to hear if anybody came up with any like really good interval patterns that work really well, so you can share them with everybody else and so I can steal them for my own practicing too. So this week, we're going to go over one which I really thought I had gone over before, and I'm surprised I haven't, but I was looking over my list of the exercises that I've done before, and it wasn't on there. So maybe I just forgot it, but maybe I really haven't done it yet, which is surprising to me, but it's one of my absolute favorites. So even if we have done it before, it's great to review again and go over again. So the exercise we're going to do today is a long tone exercise, and it is called Christmas Tree. Who got from one of his teachers, who probably got from one of their teachers. So it goes way back, and I honestly don't really know what the name Christmas Tree is about. Two hypotheses, or maybe a couple hypotheses, is in this exercise we basically play a chromatic scale, sort of our home starting note, similar to the 1A or like the F Remington exercise, which I know we have done before, but in this one we go up rather than going down as in the Remington. I think maybe the Christmas tree has to do with having that note that we always return to being like our solid foundation, and then we're sort of building up as we go there. The one other thing that I thought of too maybe is if you write this out on a piece of music, it sort of has like these small intervals and then gradually gets bigger. So if you turn that on its side, it kind of looks like a Christmas tree going up. So maybe that's what it is. But if anybody out there watching this knows the meaning of Christmas tree and why this exercise is called Christmas tree, I would love to know that. So what it is, I sort of explained it already, is we're just playing a chromatic scale, but always returning to our starting note. I usually do it for just one octave, but do it in several different octaves so you get through all of the notes. But I'll go ahead and demonstrate at least some of it, starting on the low E. So again, we're going to be going E and holding it just like we do with a long tone, focusing on a good start, good sustain to the sound, getting a good transition to the next note. So E, and then up to F, 1/2 step, back down to E, up to F sharp, which is the next note in the chromatic scale, right? Back down to E, up to G, back to E, G sharp, E, A, E, B flat or A sharp, E, B natural, E, C, E, C sharp, E, D, E, D sharp, E, E, E. So you see we've sort of played through an octave of the chromatic scale. We're just always returning back down to that low E between every single note. So let me demonstrate a little bit of this, and then I'll talk through some tips and pointers for this exercise. And so on and so forth. So you probably heard a couple things. One, I was holding the notes quite long because this is a long tone exercise, and that's what it's about, is getting the sound you want, sustaining the sound you want, and feeling what it feels like to keep that sound going. You may also notice I repeated, like it was the E to F sharp was the only one I repeated because I didn't like the transition between the notes. I had a little bit like where it wasn't super smooth. There was some extra junk in there. So we always want to fix those things, correct those, and make sure that we're getting that smooth, super smooth connection that we want between every single note. So that's the couple things that I did. You may have also noticed that I was playing it quite soft. That's one of the things that I learned when I was first learning this exercise, was that it should always be like very, very pianissimo, almost as soft as you can play, but without a fuzzy tone. Playing soft, super, super clearly can be really helpful to make sure that you're sustaining the sound, supporting your air, and getting the control that you need to move between the notes and always be well supported and well sustained. Also, not having a fuzzy sound when you're soft, because in order to play soft and clear, you have to have a very focused, strong airstream. So it's great for practicing that. The other thing, though, is that I don't always do this super soft anymore. Sometimes I actually work on it loud to have that sort of different contrast, and to work on my loud dynamics as well, and still continuing that smooth, clear sound at all of the different dynamic ranges. So I think there's sort of two schools of thoughts here. There's either get a super clear, really great soft sound, and then you can grow that and make it bigger, or you can get a really clear, solid, well-supported loud sound and then continue that support as you get softer. Both ways are perfectly valid. Both ways have their benefit, and that's why I practice going both ways, so that I'm really good at playing loud, really good at playing soft, and everywhere in between. So I hope that's been helpful. I hope you enjoy working on the Christmas tree long tones. Remember to take your time to really sound good. Get a great start to the notes every time you breathe. Get a great sustain to the notes as you're holding them, and really memorize what it feels like to play each of these notes with a great sound and a great, consistent, steady sustain. Then get a smooth transition up to the next note and think through all that stuff on that note. And make sure as you're going up the octaves, or if you're playing on higher octaves, or when you're like going over the break, that's a great one to do. I do it on like the E an octave higher up to the E an octave higher than that, so you can practice going across the break, making sure that all of the registers, all of the notes have the same consistent quality to the sound. So thanks so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed Christmas Tree. Remember, if you want even more great warm-up exercises, to check out Quick Start Clarinet's, it's called the Next Generation Clarinet Method Book, which is a book that I wrote. You can go to quickstartclarinet.com/nextgenbook, then the number 1, so nextgenbook1, and check out some more information about that if you're interested in that and having a plethora of information about playing warm-up exercises. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week on the live weekly warm-up. Good luck implementing Christmas Tree into your routine, and I'd love to see in the comments how these warm-ups are going for you. See you next week.